My name is Nassim Sabs.
It was actually west to north.
Yeah, so it went north first and then it came up and over.
And this is where it all ended? Or no?
It landed here.
It landed down there?
Yeah, just in these trees there. Went down, you'd sort of see it go into the trees, you'd see the light coming out between the trees.
So it's on the other side of those trees?
On the other side of those trees. And then we walked back in towards, close to the tree line, started heading back towards the house. And as we were walking back, I looked back and I saw a series of orange lights in these trees here.
And that one was pink.
Pinkish.
On my computer, I took pictures of me. I took two, and I was like, kind of like in front of this pine tree, in front of the yard. And in the background, it looks like there's like silver thing, like silver disc or whatever. I have a
Now, I mean, these are crude estimates. So we figured when it went over, it would have been about 100 meters off the ground.
100 meters?
So it was relatively close.
100 meters.
And we were talking loudly to talk over the sound of its engine. So it was, you know, a proportional sound.
You were able to see underneath?
We weren't directly underneath. It was coming directly towards us, but it sort of swung out more, sort of up in that direction there.
How
and
big
back down.
would you say it was? If you'd stand
An
here
estimate?
and like this, bigger?
No, it's way bigger than this. It would be maybe even...
60 meters?
No, not that big.
No?
More like, sort of like, for me to, sorry, what's your name?
Oh, Rod?
Yeah.
Oh, how many
Sort
feet
of-
would that be?
That's
15, about 20? 15, 20 feet?
20.
Okay, so 20. Now, was it a disc?
I didn't see any metal object.
Okay.
Janelle, our friend who's writing the final, is the only person who claimed to see some kind of body of it. All I saw and Deanna saw were lights, a series of lights in the sky.
Oh, and the lights were rotating or just blinking?
They weren't blinking, but they were not really rotating, but they were sort of moving in sort of
Weird way.
Yeah.
Each individual of each other?
I think it looked like one object, but they kept moving, you know, in a way that would seem impossible for one object to sort of, you know, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but there was red, blue, and white light.
You felt like they knew you were there?
It was moving slowly, and it seemed to slow down as it went past. Whether that was just sort of, you know, an illusion as how it moved or not, I don't know, but it seemed that it sort of, you know, came right over top of us. And
now, did the air feel staticky? Did you feel any sensations? Or you were just shocked and whatnot?
we were confused and talking and kind of stunned, but not, I don't
You would
recall
have
any
noticed
static.
if there was a pulsing, a feeling of a vibration through you or not.
I think I would have noticed.
We were pretty far out, if you guys saw the clearing at all where we went to. Yes, that's where we were, and like, we decided like a while after to go out into like the open field. And then, yeah, and from there we could see like, you know, probably like not really clearly the house in the distance, but it's in that area when we saw this like really bright light. Like, did Deanna tell you that?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, just this like unnaturally bright light, and we thought it could have been like a farmhouse light or anything.
Yeah.
But we like realized it's kind of like it was like getting bigger and smaller and kind of changing its form and color, and it's just like it was like too bright to be anything like a yard light. It's way too bright. And then like, I don't know, we started really wondering what it was, and it like, we were like, oh my god, is it coming towards us? And like after it seemed to have spotted us, and it came like directly at us, and it was like it was just like it was, I guess it was sort of like round, say like a saucer, and it was just like it had all these lights on the bottom, like these bright flashing lights all at the bottom, and it was like hovering, but the bottom of the aircraft was spinning like this.
Okay.
And it was about the size of a vehicle, Yeah, it's so strange though, like
And
so
the sound?
weird.
Was there any
Oh
sound?
yeah, no, it was very loud, like louder than any aircraft. It could have been because of how low it was, because I don't think it's even like 100 feet above the ground. Like it's probably about 100 feet or like more. I don't know. It's like pretty close to the ground, I thought, and it was just like very, very loud.
Did you
Like an
feel
aircraft.
anything in the air? Static electricity? Any vibrations through your body?
I thought like, if anything, like if I felt the ground moving or anything, I probably would have guessed it was from the sound because it was so loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it hurt your ears? That kind of...
No, it didn't really like. I think mostly we were just nervous, like, and really wondering what that was. But like,
How long was it really, really close to you?
Like it hovered quite slowly over top of us, but it didn't stop or anything. It just kept moving, but it like was going pretty slow. And like at first, like when it came towards us, it looked like it was going like pretty fast. And then all of a sudden there was like this thing over top of us, and it was just like slowly hovering but spinning and like flashing these lights. But it didn't stay over top of us for too long. Not even like, well, it was over our heads for quite a while, but probably not even a full minute, I say. But it just, because it kept moving, and then kind of went around and started hovering in one spot, like behind these trees, and it looked like it had lowered itself.
Yeah.
Really weird. Yeah.
Okay, and what were the color lights when it was lowering?
Well, like, I think there was, like, a lot of different colored lights. Like, I remember seeing blue and green, but mostly, like yellow and, white or orange. And I think I remember seeing, like, an orangey light when it was lowering. But there were also, like, different lights that had appeared at that time, and they were kind of, like, looked like they were all just surveying the area, and we could still hear them, like, later that night. As we started to walk back, we could still see them in the sky, like, way farther up.
Okay.
And we could still hear them, their sound, too. But,
Was that your first time?
no.
Did you arrive in the yard alongside Deanna? Like, were you together?
Yeah, we were all together. You met David, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
David
with you.
apparently was ahead of you guys or something?
No, actually, Deanna was in the front for the most part, or I was beside her, and we were, like, shielding ourselves and, like, trying to get away from this, and we were just walking towards the house, and David more so stayed back because he said he wasn't afraid of them, or he wanted them to, like, come near us.
So when you come around here to the yard, was it all lit up?
Actually, when we got back, like, the whole yard wasn't lit up, but, like, okay, we were, like, in that direction, hey, so we were coming in by that shed, and we were coming in, and then the yard was a bit lit up, like right by the house, like this whole area. There was it was more lit up, I think, than usual, which is kind of weird, but we all like agreed on this.
Was it an unusual color or normal house color, like
Probably
whitish
just
yellow?
like yeah, probably. It wasn't like a strange color. It was just lit up.
Did you notice anything in the yard?
Oh yeah, it's hard to say what it was, but, like, we all had stopped, and, like, we all just kind of stood there, and we saw all this scurrying and movement, like,
All
a lot
three
of...
you?
Oh, yeah, we all saw this, like, movement, and we were kind of, like, just waiting there, like, trying to figure out what this is, like, what are we seeing?
What did David think it was?
David didn't really say much about it. More so, like, just about the aircraft that we saw, but he said that he saw, like, scurrying too, and he said that there were like more than 2 dogs. That's what he thought. Like, that's what he thought it was.
Wow. Okay.
But it was, yeah, and that's what it looked like. Honestly, it looked like there were more dogs, like the shadows of them. And it was just like they're kind of all over the place.
So the yard and all that's all lit up, and you'd went
It
in the
was
house,
really
or
strange.
they went into the trailer.
Oh
and,
yeah.
And stuff was still going on outside.
Oh yeah, definitely. We heard the sound that the aircraft had first made when we first saw it. Like, we heard the same sound, like, but almost even louder. Like, this time it was like even more powerful. And David said it sounded like something was on the roof. Like, that's how loud it was. It's really, really close. And then we saw, like, it started sending these like streaks of flashes through the window, like a streak of light, a really quick flash, and it was just really strange. And we started seeing like different flashes in like the corner of the window in the same spot. And David said, like, I didn't know this, because, like, after that, I wasn't really looking at the window. I was like, it's really weird. But he said he saw, like, off in the distance out there, like, in the sky over there, he saw the same blinking light. Okay. The same blinking lights as before.
What about wind or anything? Was there any sound against the trailer?
In the morning there was. Not really. I don't think at nighttime, really.
Okay.
Yeah, no, in the morning, I was hearing things, like, I was in, Deanna's parents' room, and I was just, I think I went in there to pet the cat or find the cat, and I heard all this, like, weird noise by the window, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just the wind, so I figured it's probably pretty windy.
So you've experienced this close encounter, you come into the yard, there's scurrying going on, you go inside, and you guys are just, you didn't get in the car and take off or anything, you just stayed.
Yeah.
Did you feel safer in the house, or
no
thoughts ever to leave?
I don't know. We weren't really sure on what to do. Like, we contemplated phoning somebody, but we were all just, I think we were all in shock and, like, disbelief, and we didn't know what to do, and we just thought, like, and once we were in the house, we were, like, pretty afraid to go back out, like, after all this stuff was still occurring. We just...
All that would make you believe that maybe it could possibly have been man-made? That it would be
aircraft?
Military, yeah.
It could have been, like,
is there anything in its maneuvering or the way it behaved that would be...
No, I know that aircraft just can't fly like that. They can't spin and hover. Like, I really don't think it's, like, possible. Even if it was, like, a government aircraft, I don't think they'd want to, like, be here. Like, there's no point.
Yeah. Cool. Weird.
I don't know, I think they're just attracted to, like, certain energies here. Like, this is sacred ground, and, like, that whole sweat is just, like, full of, like, I don't know, intense energy. And I think
they'll come back?
Well, actually, I was wondering about that, like, as soon as Diana was talking about, like, seeing them, I was like, well, what if they wouldn't? Because, like, at that time, it was just, like, us three, and we weren't really expecting it, and, like, we were, like, extra sensitive, and they might have been interested in that. Like, they might have spotted us, and, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, but now there's, like, quite a few more people, and there's going to be, like, more people. I hope they don't, like, interfere with anything. But, I don't know, I think it'd be really interesting. I mean,
number of people doesn't really matter. Last summer at Waterhen Lake there was 1,500 people, including 2 RCMP officers.
Oh, really?
And in the United States, usually when they have a UFO symposium or something, there's thousands of people there, and UFOs are usually spotted all the time. Yeah, But my curiosity or my interest, I'm wondering why here, why, you know.
I thought it had to do with
the energies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, I could see them being attracted to it, or, like, interested.
Do you think maybe they trying to attempt communication?
Well, I didn't understand why they'd want to communicate with us, and then, like, when I heard about that message, I was like, okay, they're totally trying to, like, communicate with us and contact us.
You believe that that's what it's from?
Well, I hadn't heard it. It's just what I was told,
okay,
like, before, and I was like, that's what I believed. But it's really hard to say. I just couldn't understand why they would want to, or, like, why they would.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, we saw, like, a spaceship, so anything could happen, really. Really weird.
Is there anything that you would anything about it at all that would make you believe that maybe it could possibly have been man-made? That it would be
aircraft?
Military, yeah.
It could have been, like,
is there anything in its maneuvering or the way it behaved that would be...
No, I know that aircraft just can't fly like that. They can't spin and hover. Like, I really don't think it's, like, possible. Even if it was, like, a government aircraft, I don't think they'd want to, like, be here. Like, there's no point.
Yeah. Cool.